So you know the mics are hot, and I think I got it set up. I'm just gonna just ask if y'all can hear me.
Perfect.
I'll do that in 30
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
Well, you don't want to discourage people. You don't want to discourage
I know. Can you imagine?
Like tripped over the, not last week, the meeting before I tripped over the wire, I almost went through the court office.
Oh, no.
I was talking to Fisher, I didn't look back.
Council President, can you hear me?
Yes, City Clerk, I can. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
No, you're good. Mike's hot. All right, we're just waiting for Sean and Chris.
There are council members in the hallway. I'll go let them know that the meeting's about to start.
Thank you. We're ready.
I got a Sunday.
I know.
John, I don't see him.
Huh?
Walter, I don't. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Oh, maybe not.
We're all set. All right, let's call the meeting of the City of Tonawanda Council to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Cheesley.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
Roundstrow.
Here.
Mylum.
Here.
Cook.
Here, please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to pause our regular proceedings so we can get an update on the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Malum. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. At this time, I'd like to call up Karen Carmen, who assumed role of chair of the Twin Cities Task Force until May 30th of this year. Okay. I just want to read a letter that I mailed to Karen, just as a segue to the accomplishments that the task force has seen since the inception. Dear Karen, simply put, you are amazing. The success of the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless is in large part due to your unwavering support, dedication, commitment, and love towards ending homelessness in our community. Back in 2022, we lost an individual to homelessness in the city of Tonawanda, and we vowed to work tirelessly to ensure that this never happened again. Without hesitation, you agreed to chair a newly formed task force in our Twin Cities. Your knowledge and experience has inspired the Twin Cities to work together to end homelessness. The time, talents, and treasures that you have invested in our mission will never be forgotten. As a result of your leadership and under your direction, the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless has accomplished the following. The Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless has over 40 volunteers, many of them are here, committed to our mission to end homelessness in our community. And this is an all volunteer organization. Our volunteers have logged approximately 350 hours of street outreach and 600 volunteer hours in our office. The Salvation Army of the Tonawandas and the Grove Street Christian Church have graciously allowed our volunteers to operate out of their office space. As a result of the hard work and dedication of our volunteers, the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless has successfully placed 23 people who were previously living on the streets into permanent housing. The success stories are absolutely incredible. These individuals were living unhoused between the city of Tonawanda and North Tonawanda, and they now have a permanent place that they can call home. 54 years. That is the sum of the years that our clients have been living outside. This is unimaginable considering our harsh winters. In December, our task force was awarded the Community Partnership Award from the Salvation Army. We also have a dedicated office space within the Salvation Army where we can meet with clients privately and provide resources to our clients. Also in December, the Homeless Alliance of Western New York presented our task force with the Monsignor Henry Gugino Service Award, which recognized the achievements of an agency or program that has provided exceptional service to the individuals with lived experience of homelessness or towards eliminating homelessness at its roots cause. The Twin City Task Force for the Homeless has secured over $110,000 in annualized benefits, including housing subsidies for our clients. I want to thank you for inspiring our volunteers and our entire community. You are a walking angel. Thank you does not seem like enough for all that you have sacrificed and accomplished, and I wish you all but the best in your retirement. Thank you. So now the secret's out, because I had to get her here.
We're not done yet.
So, we've reached out to some dignitaries and we have some proclamations, and certifications from dignitaries, and we're going to actually spend some time and read those, okay? So first, we have a, proclamation from County Executive Mark Poloncarz. This is what it looks like.
Madam President, Mario was asking if Ms. Carmen can step up onto the podium so she can be on the Zoom for everyone at home to watch.
Yes.
Please come on up. Thank you.
A chair?
Oh,
No, sure.
thank you, Mr. Fisher. So from the county executive honoring Karen Carmen. Whereas Karen Carmen has led a life dedicated to servicing those experiencing homelessness, implementing new and innovative ways to address individuals who are unhoused and cultivating meaningful relationships. Karen impacted all walks of life throughout her journey and will always be remembered for her compassion towards others, her drive to meet the need, and her collection of spreadsheets with data proving her programs have made a difference on the response to homelessness.
Good luck with those spreadsheets, please.
And whereas Karen started her journey with crisis services, launching her lifetime work toward ending homelessness in Erie County into gear by engaging in an outreach approach and providing services to those in shelters. It was then that she saw the need to further reach those who were unhoused and went on the run in the Housing Services for the Young Woman Christian Association of Western New York. In 2005, she connected with the Matt Urban Center. That is where her ability to meet the needs of those experiencing homelessness blossomed. And whereas during her time at the Matt Urban Center, concluding in 2015, Karen brought her dream of the Hope Center to fruition. Not only has she initiated a street outreach program, connecting the homelessness to much needed resources, she also implemented the Rapid Rehousing Program and was a driving force behind Hope Gardens, which has served as a permanent supportive housing facility for chronically homeless women. The Urban Diner at the Hope Center was also created because of Karen, providing clients a daily meal served to them seated at tables rather than standing in line. This gave clients a sense of dignity, further expanding opportunities to offer clients a chance to work or volunteer at the center, igniting purpose on them. And whereas Karen was one of the founders of Code Blue, Erie County and the City of Buffalo's cold weather emergency safety plan, providing outreach, transportation, shelter, and a warm meal to individuals of the community who are unhoused on evenings the temperatures or wind chills fall to 32 degrees or below. Karen was on the board of directors of the Homeless Alliance of Western New York, aiding in the implementation of a coordinated entry system for prioritizing individuals experiencing homelessness for those most in need. as well as serving as the chair of the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless, which successfully housed 23 individuals once living on the streets since its inception in 2023, due to her inspirational leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mark Poloncarz, Erie County Executive, hereby proclaim June 4th is Karen Carmen Day in Erie County. I am proud
Get off.
for her servicing of individuals who are unhoused in the Western New York area. I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Oh, great. I'm not a bigwig like you've been reading, but I'm gonna do one from the mayor of the city of Tonawanda. Karen, I met you back in actually 2022. And it was really important. You're a beautiful person inside and out. You care about people. This is a proclamation from the city of Tonawanda, whereas Karen Carmen recognized many years ago that people were suffering due to lack of shelter. She began dedicating her life to combating homeless and creating a community where everyone has a place to call home. Whereas Karen began her career, again, crisis services, where she initiated outreach programs to serve individuals in shelters and on the streets. She quickly recognized the need for this and directed assistance to those experiencing the unknowing life of living on the streets. Whereas her passion became a reality when she started working with the crisis services, doing homeless outreach by providing services to those living in shelters, but also saw a need to help those living on the streets. And whereas she is connected with the Mad Urban Center, and her dream of the Hope Center came to light. This center connected homeless people to much needed services. Through the Hope Center, she also started the Urban Diner, where those in need were offered daily meals to help them survive, restaurant style, rather than standing in lines and standing in lines and standing in lines. Whereas Karen Carmen's spirit, her energy, and her sense of humor, which is a great sense of humor, inspired others to join her, and that's why we're all in the room here today. Much needed services for the homeless of Tonawanda, North Tonawanda. Her spreadsheets help provide valuable information for others leading into the efforts to assist in the homeless people in our community. And whereas the Twin City Task Force under Karen's direction became a positive effort to assist the homeless in Tonawanda and North Tonawanda. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we proclaim today, the 4th of June, 2024, as Karen Carmen Day, signed by the Mayor, John White. Thank you. Oh, we're not done.
We're not done.
We're not done. Now come the big wigs.
Would you like to read the proclamation from Mayor Tyler?
Oh, Mayor Tyler, yes. This is our combat in arms over there in North Tonawanda. Proclamation honoring Karen Carmen, whereas Karen Carmen has dedicated her life to combating homelessness, tirelessly working towards creating a community where everyone has a place to call home. We see a consistent thing here, and it's just unbelievable. It's fantastic.
Wendy.
That's a good idea. Good idea. Whereas the passion for addressing homeless led her to various roles, including her tenure as YWCA of Western New York, where she championed housing services for victims of domestic violence, while steadily advocating for those experiencing homelessness. And whereas Karen's visionary leadership at the Mad Urban Center saw the realization of programs such as the Hope Center, where she had spreadsheet out to outreach individuals, established an urban diner to provide dignified meals, dignified meaning they not just stand in lines, they sit down for these, and the volunteer opportunities, embroidering the principle of compassionate service. And whereas her commitment to addressing the unique needs of her the communities in her pivotal contributions to the initiatives like Hope Gardens, a beacon of hope for chronically homeless women seeking safety and stability, and her advocacy for rapid rehousing programs, promoting housing and the fundamental human rights. And whereas Karen's unwavering advocacy for housing first principles and the implementation of the coordinated entry system, which we all call her spreadsheets, were unbelievable and helped out the region and prioritized some of the most vulnerable individuals, ensuring that no one was left behind. Therefore, amplifying the true leadership and compassion that Karen has, and her boundless energy and her innovative spirit, coupled with the legendary efficiency for her spreadsheets, and left a mark on the fight against homeless. Now for it be resolved on this day of June 4th, 2024, we, the community of North Tonawanda, do hereby recognize and honor Karen Carmen for, I'm the mayor of City Tonawanda, so I'm reading this for North Tonawanda. They have a meeting tonight. So today and furthermore, that we affectionately tease Karen for her unmatched prowess of her spreadsheets and her wizardry, reminding us all that even in the face of the most daunting challenges, a well-organized file can be a true beacon of hope. Signed by Austin Tyler, Mayor of North Tonawanda.
County legislator John Barnese sent a proclamation as well. Whereas Karen Carmen has spent nearly a lifetime working towards ending homelessness in Erie County. And whereas Karen started servicing the homeless while working at Crisis Services, doing homeless outreach, which helped provide services to those in shelters, but saw a need to meet clients who were living on the streets. And whereas Karen Carmen worked at the Matt Urban Center from 2007 to 2015, and her dream of the Hope Center came to fruition, along with starting the Urban Diner at the Hope Center. Whereas those experiencing homelessness were also offered the opportunity to work and volunteer at the Hope Center, giving them a daily purpose and dignity. Whereas during her tenure at the Matt Urban Center, Karen also implemented a rapid rehousing program at the Matt Urban Center, which is a program to house those experiencing homelessness, but they receive shorter rental subsidies and services that they choose, such programs like permanent supportive housing. And whereas Karen would go on to serve as chair of the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless, during her leadership, approximately $110,000 in annualized benefits, including housing subsidies, 350 hours of street outreach, and 600 volunteer hours in the office, and many other blessings blossomed due to the hard work of Karen. Whereas Karen has also been at the forefront of implementing new innovative ways to those who've experiencing homelessness. Whereas Housing First is a proven concept that provides housing first to people experiencing homelessness and then provides services after they are housed. Whereas Karen also helped the Homeless Alliance of Western New York implement a coordinated entry system for prioritizing people experiencing homelessness for those most in need. Before the implementation of her coordinated entry, service agencies were cherry picking clients. Whereas Karen was also on the board of directors for the Homeless Alliance of Western New York. And whereas Karen and her love for utilizing spreadsheets allowed her to remain organized and on task.
There's some common ground
There's a
here.
common theme here. Whereas for many decades, so many are proud to call Karen a leader, a friend, and will forever appreciate her work above and beyond efforts to provide the best for those in need. Resolved that this honorable body hereby recognize and commend Karen Carmen for her dedication of service in working towards ending homelessness throughout Erie County, and a job well done. Assemblyman William Conrad has issued a citation. And he wrote, whereas it is the privilege of the 140th Assembly District representative to recognize and honor the distinguished citizens of Western New York who have faithfully upheld the best interests of their community and worked to fulfill the needs of its residents. Whereas I am proud to commend and congratulate Karen Carmen on her retirement from a nearly 30-year career in service to the city of Tonawanda and its citizens. Whereas a tireless advocate, Ms. Carmen's career flowered with the benefits of many rich experiences from working at the YWCA of Housing Services, which included transitional housing for victims of domestic violence, to the Matt Urban Center, which helped pursue her dream of opening the Hope Center, the exceptional and model outreach program for the homeless. And whereas the chairperson of the Twin City Task Force for the Homeless, she has successfully spearheaded leadership to eradicate homelessness from the city of Tonawanda and North Tonawanda, designing accessible systems to maximize the program's benefits. And whereas Ms. Carmen's retirement will certainly leave a void in the community, as her professional contributions are immeasurable, yet she's always willing to train and teach newer employees in all departments, generously bestowing the gifts of her knowledge. Whereas Ms. Carmen's presence will be sorely missed, as her advocacy has touched so many lives in the Twin Cities. And whereas Ms. Carmen's talents are not limited to the workplace, as her meaningful contributions also extend well beyond the halls of City Hall. Therefore, let it be resolved that I, William Conrad, New York State Assembly Member, 140th District, by the power and authority vested in me, this 4th day of June, present this citation to Karen Carmen in recognition of and with gratitude for her legacy of service to the city and neighbors she holds dear, and our community's best wishes for a happy, healthy, and satisfying retirement.
Karen, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but whereas I had my eyes done by Ficta today and they shot that stuff in my eye, I whereas can't read these things anymore. So I do apologize. So I'm gonna leave it with, Jenna.
We have a proclamation from Senator Sean Ryan. And, you know, there's a common theme here. I'm not gonna read it all, but I think you get the gist of it. It is his honor to present and acknowledge the outstanding service, to you. And here's another proclamation. We have a proclamation from Senator Robert Ort honoring your service and commitment to ending homelessness. And he wrote a lot of whereases. And therefore be it resolved that I, State Senator Robert Ort of the New York State Senate, hereby recognize and extend our most sincere appreciation to Karen Conrad for her dedication and leadership as the chair of the Twin Cities Task Force for the Homeless, and wish her all the best in the future. Here we have a certificate of congressional recognition by Congressman Timothy Kennedy. And he wrote this is presented to Karen Carmen in recognition for her incredible leadership as chair of the Twin Cities Task Force. With a career of service working to end homelessness, she has profoundly impacted our community. We have a letter signed by United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand that is a personal letter to you that I will let you read, but it summarizes everything that we've already read. Last but not least, on behalf of the volunteers, we have a plaque and flowers that we would like to present to you. So this is on behalf of the Twin Cities Task Force, all the volunteers, all the dignitaries. Thank you for all your work. Thank you.
I do want to say
Yeah.
just a few words.
Yeah.
I do want to say a thank you for everyone that's here tonight. I knew something was up when I saw my neighbors and all the volunteers and Tex and Mao. And this also, it also makes it sound like I'm a one-woman show, and I'm not. I had the privilege to work with a lot of good people. Joelle Tedeschi, we co-founded all those things that it sounded like I founded. The Urban Diner, the Hope Center, we worked hand in hand to accomplish all of that. And also the spreadsheets, I just want to clarify that. Thank you. prior to switching careers, I worked in finance, so I was a spreadsheet nerd. And that never left me. I still am today. But as far as the task force goes, I did what I normally do. I'm a program developer, a grant writer. I developed this program, but the best program will fail without the right people. And I was so lucky to have the right people. And so many of them are right here tonight. Will Marcy, he was in right before we even developed it. He trained all our volunteers on the streets. He attended trainings. He did the trainings. Elena, she's now doing the trainings. And I just want to also mention that the whole task force is made up of volunteers. There's teachers, there's nurses, there's hotel management people, all different people. And they all are very, very dedicated. And I was privileged to work with all of them. And I'm going to just pull out a couple pieces. Wendy Coide. Wendy. Engaged with chronically homeless women that a lot of professionals could not touch. Wendy engaged with her. She stayed with her for months. She worked with her tirelessly. She was there when her dog died. And Wendy is the one who got her housed. She is now in an apartment in Niagara Falls. A woman that's been on the street for years. And I mean, I know I miss, oh, Sharon Wallace, I don't think she's here, but Sharon, she made sure she secured $16,000 in food stamps in 1 year for our clients. $16,000 that came back into this community. Joe and Diane that are sitting right there. They're engaging with a woman who has been on the streets for many, many years. And I think Elena knew her when she was in Buffalo. And they're this close to getting her housed, but it takes a long time to engage with them. And it's not, homelessness, street homelessness is gritty and it's dirty and it's stinky and it's not for everyone. But these folks right over here in this section, they've got the heart. Amy, right over there, she engaged with a man who was so aggressive, nobody would go near him. And now he is in the program. So all the volunteers. All these flowers, so, but thank you very much. Okay, thanks.
You tell me where you're going, ready?
Okay, all right.
I'm following you.
Thank you, memorialize it for.
I'm reading it, David, so I'll start with.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. Now we'll proceed with our regular agenda. Communications from the mayor have been ordered and filed. Communications from city officials and correspondents have also been ordered and filed. We are not going into executive session. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public on the resolutions. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. Comments on the resolutions. Mr. Clerk, anyone wishing, who's joining us virtually wishes to address the council on the resolutions?
No, not at this time, Council President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Then we'll proceed.
President, I'd like to make a motion to waive the reading of resolutions, please.
Okay, Mr.
1 through 5.
Well, let's do one and two. Three I have to. And then do, so we have a motion by Mr. Mylum to waive the readings of resolution 1, 2, we'll get to 3 later, 4, 5, 4, and 5. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Rounstraw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll waive those readings. Resolution number 1, Mr. Clerk.
Sheasley,
Oh, wait, I first have to take a second. So
Okay.
resolution number 1 is sponsored by Mr. Mylum. Do we have a second? Mr. Sheasley, comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstraw.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 2 by the council, seconded by the council. Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rounstraw,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. Mr. Clerk, I'd like to make a motion to table, resolution 3. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Sheasley. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rounstraw,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook,
I declare resolution 3 tabled. Resolution number 4 is sponsored by Mr. Sheasley. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Fisher. Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rounstraw.
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. Resolution 5, sponsored by Councilmember Fisher. I'll second. Comments or questions?
Yeah, just to make that clear, the Adam to Broad on Main Street's gonna be closed off for that event. Just
Is that a
to-
fact?
Huh?
That's a fact.
That's what we talked about, well, that was. Steve, you got anything?
Mr. Clerk, can you pull the application?
yes, I have that right here.
Okay. And what is the request to block?
It's Main Street from Broad to Adam. And it's the application that all the department heads signed off on, and I'll go over with them after it's approved by the council, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rounstraw.
Aye.
Mylum, Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public following the resolutions. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. For those that are joining us virtually, there is a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so, and the clerk will call upon you.
Comments? For the resolutions?
These are general public.
Hi, Peter Deeb, I live 47 James Street. I've spoken before to probably a couple of you folks that are on the council, mayor, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. But, so a recent tragedy, right down in London. Many times I have stated that the rail crossing on Wheeler Street and Hackett is, in my view, just atrocious. I don't even know how to explain it. It's very dangerous street. I think there's probably only 2 at-grade crossings that supposed to be on a lot of it. That would be Wheeler Street and Franklin Street. Franklin, not nearly as busy as the Wheeler Street crossing. There there is pedestrian crossing guards. Oh, the tragedy was the deaths, of course, of the folks in the pickup truck at the crossing on Falls. You know, before, I guess the reason I'm speaking is before something like that happened in our city, and God knows who it would be, a visitor, you know, a neighbor, because based on how many people really do make that crossing up to the hill and down to the river and to work, you know, across the main street. But that crossing, there has to be something we can do. I mean, even as much as the sidewalk crossings are virtually not there. It's basically a strip of asphalt on the Hackett side, and nothing on the called the Simmers side, the other side of the street, where Cat is, they had built a sidewalk, but of course it ends. So it's the weird geometry is the problem. So I was going to say the pedestrian crossing guards are at a diagonal. There's no lineage. You don't need lining, street marking of any kind. No vertical sign that might help. And of course, traffic that runs from Main Street toward Niagara Street, going up to Hackett, that is not a stop sign there. That's through traffic. So my biggest issue is when pedestrians. So a lot of school kids go home that way. I've seen people with toddlers, people, you know, with mobility difficulties, trying to make that crossing. And I'll cut off right there. It's a super dangerous thing. I'd love to see some type of an engineer or something take a good look at that. It was just paved. CSX is going to work on that crossing in the near future. So maybe somebody could send a note to them and say, what are you guys doing? What can you do for us? Like I said, there are really only two at-grade crossings. And before something tragic happens, I'll love you guys to take it.
Thank you, Mr. Deeb. I know, I can speak on behalf of some council members. We've reached out to CSX.
Yep.
As well as the mayor has as well. We'll certainly put our heads together. I know that Councilman Sheasley wrote some notes down for traffic and safety. So, I know he'll take it back to traffic and safety, but we'll see what we can do together and see what we can come up with, and we'll circle back with you, okay? Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, any residents who are joining us virtually wish to address the council?
No, not at this time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Sheasley.
Like to piggyback on Mr. D, back in the 80s, we had a death at that road crossing, young man. There were two in a car, he ran the gate, you know, but he still died. One's too many, especially in North Tonawanda. I don't know how that family can live with what's going on. But you're totally correct, sir. It's a terrible, terrible place. You know, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Sheasley. Mr. Fisher.
First, I'd like to acknowledge the great work by Karen Carmen. Say thank you for her service to the city. Second, for the Chris Fisher Gives Back. This week it was $50 to the Grove Street Christian Church, which also happens to be a church that works with the homeless outreach group. And then lastly, I'd like to say congratulations to Eagle Scout Nathan Hent from Salem United Church. He achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. I was able to present him with a second ward achievement certificate, along with the Erie County District Attorney Mike Kane came out with me, and the mayor. And that is all.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Rautenstrau.
Thank you, Madam President. I also want to say thank you to Karen Carmen for your services. It's great to know what you've done here. Heard much about it. I want to say thank you to her and all the volunteers. You guys have done some great. Also, I just want to officially on the record, I just want to wish you guys a good sometimes. So, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rautenstrau. Mr. Mylum.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mylum. Mayor.
Oh, I got a few things. First of all, Karen, she's been a bright light for us. It was fantastic what she did and the time she's still on it. So Karen, God bless. Mr. Fisher is right. I went to that for the Nathan, for the scout. It was unbelievable. You know what it did to me? It made me feel like our future is in good hands. When you see an Eagle Scout, and you see all the kids that are there for scouting, it refreshes you that we are in good hands, and it's, you see all the negative on TV, you see all the negative on Facebook. Again, it was a refreshing thing. It was my pleasure, to be there. Next of all is, you get a chance, this Thursday is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. You get a chance to say a prayer for our men and women who lost their lives, during D-Day, or the war. It's an important time. Say a prayer. I think it's important. And anybody who's interested, the DRI, we have another opening, our second open meeting for people to come out. And if you're interested in a business person to submit an application, it's gonna be at the library. It's at the 12th at the City Tonawanda Library. Come on down, see what it's about if you want. It's kind of a neat thing. We had about 5, 6 businesses. I got another 2 more coming. So it's interesting to see that other people that may want to increase their business with the potential of the $10 million DRI in their pocket to flourish in the city of Tonawanda. It's a win-win for them and a win-win for the city. So we're looking forward to that. And the last thing is the 4th of July. We teamed up with North Tonawanda. 4th of July is going to be on the Tonawanda Island this year. Don't be fret. It's going to be unbelievable because in our old location, it's just the safety zone is, we had some people get burnt last year, and we're not going to play games with that. We can't even do it on the bridge. It's only goes over 150 feet on the bridge. It's great for Canal Fest because your group's right there. When you're talking City Tonawanda with 10,000 people on the river, these things are going to be in 8-inch cans. They can go up to 600 to 800 feet. So you're gonna be able to see them all the way down the Grand Island Bridge, all the way down River Road. So the entire river is gonna be packed with people. And the nice thing about it is we don't have to do much except for Part 18. It was just a filing for a mass gathering of 5,000 or more. I mean, not that it's easy. We still got to maintain our people, the traffic, yada, yada, but we wanted to close off all the laterals moving all the way down, which is very important for us because it costs us money to do that. So I'm happy to inform you that's where it's gonna be this year. We're gonna have to do a lot of promotion. We're gonna be doing a lot of interviews with Channel 2, 4, and 7, acknowledging the fact that it's gonna be there. Still come down to the river, bring all your family, your friends down there. We're working on entertainment at the band shelter. So it'll be a fun day for 4th of July. I just wanna give everybody a heads up. We're doing it in conjunction with North Tonawanda. We split the cost, so it's gonna be a really nice event. Thank you. So I have, Madam President.
Thank you, Mayor. After the holiday, after Christmas in 2022, Mayor White, Mayor Tyler and I, we were having a discussion about how we can combat homelessness in the Twin Cities. And I called Karen to see if she could meet for dinner at Webster's. And she goes, sure, when do you want to meet? And I said, well, let's, wait, we'll meet second week of January. She goes, no, I want to meet tomorrow. I said, okay, we'll meet tomorrow. So I called Mayor Tyler, I called Mayor White, and long story short, we get to Webster. I kid you not, she comes in with folders of how we can combat homelessness. I said, I didn't even give you 24 hours to put this together. She had a mission statement for us. She had what we needed to do to hit the ground running. And I said, well, are you on board? And I kid you not, she was ready, and the success is because of her leadership. So I wish her nothing but the best. I know she's probably out there chirping about me. She obviously didn't want this. She doesn't like to be in the spotlight, but we felt that it was important that we recognize her for all that she did. I want to thank all of our dignitaries for the proclamations, the certificates, and the citations. I know the mayor was driving around. We were all picking up proclamations and certifications. They were coming to the house. So I want to thank Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Erie County Legislator John Barnese, Mayor John White, Mayor Austin Tylek, Assemblyman William Conrad, Senator Sean Ryan, Senator Robert Ort, Congressman Tim Kennedy, and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. We look forward to continuing to work with our volunteers to continue with our momentum and success. And tomorrow is Warriors Walk. So hopefully the weather will hold out for us. Skip Johnson is our historian as well as, he leads our Warriors Walk. And he's now a meteorologist because he texted me today saying, at approximately 6:30, it's a 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms. So we will be monitoring the weather. But tune in for our next Warriors Walk. Tomorrow at 6:30, we'll be meeting in the Tops parking lot. And we're going to get a tour of Goose Island #1. So it's gonna be a fun night, right, Skip? Yeah, I love it. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Sheasley. All those in favor?
All right.
Drive home safe, everybody.